Please don't die, please don't die. The girl's voice shook as she pressed her small hands against the man's bleeding head. Smoke rose from the crushed black car beside them. The road was silent except for the hiss of a broken engine and the distant cries of birds fleeing the noise. People had gathered, but they stood far away. They whispered. That car belongs to Chief Kade Adebayo. The billionaire. The one who owns the biggest company in the city. No one should touch him. What if he dies? But the girl did not move. Her name was Zuri. She was barefoot, her clothes dusty and torn. Many in the town knew her as the homeless girl who sleeps near the market. Yet here she was, kneeling in the middle of the road, saving the life of the richest man in the region. Zuri had been walking with a basket of leftover bread when she heard the loud crash. A speeding truck had swerved. The black car had flipped and slammed into a mango tree. Everyone froze. Zuri ran. She pulled open the broken door with all her strength. The man inside was unconscious. Blood ran down his temple. His chest moved slowly. Zuri remembered what an old nurse once taught her when she begged for food outside the clinic. Child, if you ever see someone hurt, talk to them. Let them know they are not alone. So Zuri spoke. Sir, open your eyes. Please. You are strong. You must live. She tore a piece from her dress and pressed it against his wound. She kept talking, even when her voice trembled. Soon, an ambulance arrived. As the nurses lifted the man, one of them stared at Zuri. Girl, how did you know what to do? Zuri shrugged. I just didn't want him to be alone. The nurse nodded and turned to the man's open wallet, which had fallen on the seat. She picked up an old photo that slipped out. It showed a young woman holding a baby. Zuri's heart skipped. She stepped closer. Please, can I see that? The nurse handed it to her. Zuri's hands shook. The woman in the picture looked exactly like her mother. And the baby? The baby was her. Zuri looked at the injured man being placed into the ambulance. Her lips parted. Mama always said my father left in a black car. The doors closed. The ambulance drove away. Zuri stood alone on the road, holding a photo that changed her whole world. Could the man she saved be the father she had never known? And if he was, would he remember her? The wind brushed her face as tears filled her eyes. She whispered, Daddy. 3 years earlier, Zuri had lived in a small blue house near River Ajona, in the town of Oduro. Life was simple then. Her mother, Amora, sold fruits in the market. Zuri helped after school, arranging oranges and bananas in neat rows. At night, they shared stories. Tell me about Papa again, Zuri would say. Amora would smile sadly. He was kind. He laughed a lot. He promised to return. Why didn't he? Zuri asked once. Amora touched her cheek. Some journeys become longer than we expect. Zuri never pushed more. But one rainy night, everything changed. Amora fell sick. Zuri ran from door to door, begging for help. Some neighbors gave herbs. Others shook their heads. By morning, her mother was gone. Zuri was only 9. Relatives came, but not with love. An aunt took her in, but treated her like a burden. You eat too much. You are always in the way. Your mother left nothing for us. One day, Zuri overheard her aunt say, I did not sign up to raise another man's child. That night, Zuri packed her small bag and left. She walked until the city swallowed her. At first, she cried every night. Then she learned. She learned which shops threw away bread. Which guards were kind. Which streets were safe. She slept near the market. People passed her every day. Some ignored her. Some chased her away. Some gave her coins. But Zuri kept her mother's words close: be kind. Even when the world is not. One afternoon, while begging near a clinic, she helped an old woman pick up fallen medicine. A nurse saw her. You have gentle hands, the nurse said. Zuri smiled. From that day, the nurse sometimes gave her food. Sometimes she taught her small things. How to press a cloth on a wound. How to talk calmly. How to keep hope. Zuri listened. She never knew those small lessons would one day save a life. Back in Oduro, news spread like fire. Chief Kade had an accident. He is in the city hospital. The doctors say he may not wake up soon. Zuri stood at the market gate, holding the photo tightly. She wanted to go to the hospital. But fear held her. What if she was wrong? What if he woke up and said, I don't know you? She sat under a mango tree and stared at the picture. My mother never lied, she whispered. That night, rain fell again. Zuri curled beside a closed shop. She dreamed of her mother calling her name. Zuri, your path is opening. Morning came with golden light. Zuri stood. She wiped her face. I saved his life, she said to herself. That must mean something. With the photo hidden in her cloth, she began walking toward the city hospital. She did not know what waited for her there. She did not know if the man would wake. She did not know if he would accept her. But her heart beat with a new fire. Because for the first time since her mother died, Zuri was not just surviving. She was searching for family. And somewhere in a quiet hospital room, a billionaire lay between life and death. Holding a past he had forgotten. And a daughter he never knew he lost. The city hospital was taller than any building Zuri had ever seen. Its glass walls shone in the morning sun. Cars moved in and out like ants around sugar. People walked quickly, wearing clean clothes and serious faces. Zuri stood at the gate, clutching the old photo. Her feet ached from the long walk. Dust covered her legs. Guards watched her. She swallowed and stepped forward. I am looking for a man, she said softly. He had an accident yesterday. One guard frowned. Which man? The one in the black car. Chief Kade Adebayo. The guards exchanged looks. One laughed. Little girl, this is not a playground. Zuri's heart sank. She held out the photo. I saved him. I just want to see him. The older guard took the photo and studied it. His smile faded. He stared at the woman in the picture. Wait here, he said. Zuri waited. Minutes felt like hours. A nurse soon rushed toward her. It was the same nurse from the accident scene. You, the nurse said. I was looking for you. Zuri's eyes widened. Is he alive? Yes, the nurse replied. But he is still sleeping. Can I see him? Zuri whispered. The nurse hesitated. Then she knelt. Child, who is this woman in the photo? Zuri's voice shook. My mother. The nurse inhaled sharply. She stood and turned to the guard. Let her in. Zuri followed the nurse through long white halls. The air smelled clean. Her heart beat loudly in her ears. They stopped outside a quiet room. Inside, machines beeped softly. Chief Kade lay on the bed. He looked smaller now. No expensive suit. No shining shoes. Just a man with gray hair and tired eyes, sleeping. Zuri stepped closer. She remembered her mother's voice. He laughed a lot. She remembered the stories. He promised to return. She whispered, Daddy. The nurse watched quietly. Zuri sat beside the bed. She did not touch him at first. She simply spoke. I'm Zuri. My mother's name was Amora. She sold fruits by River Ajona. She waited for you. Tears fell onto the white sheets. I waited too. The machines continued to beep. Nothing happened. Zuri bowed her head. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe this man was just a stranger. Just then, Chief Kade's fingers twitched. Zuri froze. His eyelids fluttered. Slowly, he opened his eyes. The nurse gasped. "Sir," she said gently. "You're safe." His eyes moved, confused. They landed on Zuri. He stared. Something in his chest stirred. "Amora," he whispered. Zuri's breath caught. You know her?" she asked. His eyes filled with tears. "I see her face, in yours." The nurse stepped back. Zuri leaned forward. "She was my mother," Zuri said. "She said you left in a black car." Chief Kade's mind flooded with memories. A young woman by a river. Laughter. A promise. A phone call that never connected. A journey that became a prison of work and time. He whispered, "I searched, but I lost everything." Zuri reached for his hand. "I found you." Silence filled the room. Tears slid down the billionaire's cheeks. "My daughter," he whispered. Zuri nodded. He held her hand weakly. "I thought you were gone." Zuri smiled through tears. "I wasn't. I just grew." At that moment, footsteps thundered in the hall. A tall woman entered the room. She wore sharp clothes and cold eyes. Her name was Madame Loria. She was Chief Kade's business partner. She froze at the sight of Zuri. "What is this?" she snapped. The nurse stood firm. "This child saved his life." Madame Loria scoffed. "She is a beggar." Chief Kade looked at her. "She is my daughter." Madame Loria's face tightened. "That is impossible," she said. "You have no family." "I do now," he replied weakly. Madame Loria forced a smile. "We will talk later, Kade." She turned and left. Zuri felt a chill. The nurse whispered, "Be careful, child." Days passed. Chief Kade recovered slowly. Zuri stayed. She helped him drink water. She told him stories of the market. He told her about buildings and bridges. They laughed. For the first time, Zuri slept on a bed. She ate warm food. She felt safe. But Madame Loria watched. She controlled the company. She controlled the money. And she did not like surprises. One evening, she spoke to the doctor. "This man is confused," she said. "That girl is lying." The doctor frowned. "He is clear-minded." Madame Loria leaned closer. "Remove her from this place." That night, guards entered Zuri's room. "Come," one said. Zuri's heart raced. "Where?" she asked. "To go outside." She clutched the photo. "Please, I must see my father." They did not answer. They led her through dark halls. Out of the hospital. Out of the gates. They left her by the road. Rain began to fall. Zuri stood alone again. The hospital lights glowed far behind her. She whispered, "Daddy." Inside, Chief Kade woke. "Zuri," he called. No answer. Panic filled his chest. He tried to rise. "Where is my daughter?" The nurse rushed in. "She was taken," she said. Chief Kade's heart pounded. "Find her," he said weakly. "Find my child." Outside, Zuri hugged herself in the rain. She did not know who took her. She did not know why. But she knew one thing. She would not disappear again. Not now. Not after finding her father. Rain washed the road as Zuri walked without knowing where to go. Her feet were cold. Her clothes clung to her small body. Cars passed, splashing water beside her, but none stopped. She held the photo close to her chest. They can't take him from me, she whispered. They can't. She remembered her mother's words again, be kind. Even when the world is not. Zuri did not feel kind inside. She felt hurt. Confused. Angry. But she kept walking. Across the city, in a tall hospital room, Chief Kade struggled to sit up. Where is she? He asked again and again. The nurse tried to calm him. Sir, please rest. I will not rest, he said. Not while my child is missing. The doctor entered. Your heart is still weak. My heart is broken, Kade replied. Find my daughter. The nurse hesitated, then whispered, Madame Loria ordered her removal. Kade's eyes widened. He had trusted Loria for years. She helped build his company. She stood beside him when he had no one. Or so he thought. He clenched his fist. Bring her to me. Meanwhile, Zuri found shelter under a bus stop roof. She sat and stared into the rain. People hurried by, holding umbrellas. No one noticed the small girl with big eyes. A memory returned. The day her mother died. How she felt invisible. How she promised herself she would never be lost again. She stood. I am not going back to the streets, she said. I have a father. Zuri walked back toward the hospital. Each step felt heavy. But her heart pushed her forward. At the hospital gate, the guards blocked her. You again, one said. Go away. I need to see Chief Kade, Zuri said firmly. The guard laughed. That man does not know you. Zuri lifted the photo. My mother is here. In his memory. The guard hesitated. Just then, a black car stopped. Madame Loria stepped out. Her eyes met Zuri's. Cold. Sharp. You, Loria said. Zuri did not move. I saved him, Zuri said. He is my father. Loria smiled thinly. You are nothing, she said. A street child chasing dreams. Zuri's voice trembled. You are afraid. Loria froze. Afraid, she scoffed. You don't want him to remember, Zuri said. You don't want me here. Loria stepped closer. Go back to the dirt where you belong. Zuri's heart pounded. But she stood. I belong with my family. Loria raised her hand. Let her pass. A weak voice came from behind. Everyone turned. Chief Kade stood in a wheelchair, pushed by the nurse. His eyes were tired. But they were clear. Zuri, he whispered. She ran to him. He opened his arms. She fell into them. I thought you were gone, she cried. They tried, he replied. But they failed. Loria's face hardened. You are confused, she said. This girl is lying. Kade lifted the photo. Amora, he said softly. I never forgot her. He looked at Zuri. You are my blood. Loria shook her head. You built everything with me. Don't let a stranger ruin it. Kade's voice grew firm. I built walls. She built my heart. Silence fell. The guards watched. The nurse wiped tears. Kade turned to them. This is my daughter. Anyone who harms her answers to me. Loria stepped back. Her power slipped. Zuri felt warmth for the first time in years. That evening, Zuri returned to a clean room. A real bed. A window. A future. Kade sat beside her. I failed you, he said. You found me, Zuri replied. He smiled sadly. I was lost. She touched his hand. We are here now. But shadows still moved. Madame Loria did not leave quietly. In her heart grew a plan. And in Zuri's heart grew a dream. A dream of school. Of home. Of family. Yet beyond the hospital walls, danger waited. Because not everyone wanted a homeless girl to become a billionaire's daughter. And Zoe's new life had only just begun.